Your shit's all Your shit's all glistening, son.
It's a chap, son.
This shit's it's glistening. The lights.
Look like I got some sugar going on.
You look like it looked like
dude, this cold got me all dried out, man.
It looked like was it Jermaine Jackson's hair?
Oh,
it's just all greasy.
Welcome back, my people. Thanks for tuning in. Details. We having too much fun already. Having me shot, man.
This cold got out with the chapped lips.
I gotta do it all because my nose is chapped, blowing my nose.
I said, I can't go. The lights were hitting them and the shit was like glistening. I said, I can't let my man go out like
on the camera looking like a cupcake. That's cold.
Like LL Cool J.
Yeah. Licking them lips out, Playboy. What's up, man? Let's get into it. I got a couple things on my mind.
Project Pat, that line. Lips greasy like a moose. Shout out to Project Pat and the whole 3-6 Mafia. Yes, we are back. What we got for? What you got for him today, Sal? What do you got?
Last night, man, I was doing the whole scrolling through the gram, and I seen this commercial, this IG infomercial ad deal. And it ain't the first one, but I'm seeing this starting to go through my timeline more. The brand, I think it's called RIP, R-I-P. They had some sprayers, some foam cannons. But before that, right? But all I'm saying is it looks like something really similar.
Okay.
The one before that, and I still see it here and now and then, is Black Line. I was just like, man, this is just straight, what do you call them, knockoff?
Yes.
Just a knockoff. And I'm sure the stuff works good.
Bootleg, knockoff, Walmart version. It is what it is. It's.
I can't see. I don't know anybody rocking with it. I heard some people inquire, but never.
They're
like on the Black Line,
they're ripping.
It's a knockoff Carbon Collective.
Oh, for sure.
And also the towel is like a knockoff Clean Korea.
Oh yeah, yeah.
The other foam cannon one.
Yeah, no, that gets no love from me. Like I see shit like that, and I'm just like,
went and undercut someone or made some backdoor deals.
Well, yeah, and what's also fucked up about it is it's like, just like. I understand not everybody is creative, but some brands take that shit. Sometimes that is an integral part of the business. And when you see somebody like knocking off like your designs or knocking off your image, your look, because they couldn't come up with one because they're not creative. And I understand inspiration. Inspiration is one thing, but duplication and just outright blatant copying, like that's some coward shit. That's some like real, that's to me is like the lowest of the low when it comes to doing business. You know what I'm saying? So like South Pole, for instance, you had all the hip hop brands in the culture and the style in the 90s. You know, you had Mark Echo. You had
nasty work.
Yeah, you had your Mark Echoes and your Maurice Malones and your Carl Kanais. Yeah, you had your brands, and then you had like the South Pole comes out with this trash and these other brands that follow, and they actually are more popular because it's cheaper, it's more accessible, and that's what we're seeing here. They're making a knockoff, but sometimes these knockoffs and lower quality knockoffs will try to make the price more expensive.
Well, yeah.
That I've seen a lot too.
The little reel that I seen was a YouTube thing or whatever, but the guy was talking about
it all
knockoffs.
Pisses me off, son. Like it pisses me off like in a major way.
Knockoffs, as far as the knockoffs are getting made in the same warehouse that the real stuff is coming up, but with just no overall the quality control is not there. Yeah. So
I don't think that's the situation here. I don't think, you know what I mean? But yes, there's Now but that's retail. And when it comes to like goods like that, when it comes to sourcing materials and all that stuff, yeah, all the industries kind of have the same people that they're dealing with, but certain things could be patented, certain things could be not used with other stuff. But who knows what's getting done after hours in those factories with those factory managers? It's like in the music industry. Well, back in the day, what would say, like some of our favorite artists did this, like Wu-Tang, Dr. Dre, like they're going and they're talking to the DJ directly after work. Hey, homeboy, here's a couple grand. Throw this in the rotation tomorrow, type of deal. So who's to say there's not people going into these factories saying, "Hey, man,
right? That's
how do you think all these counterfeit shit get made?" But I'm not saying that's the case here because two different, completely different. We're comparing two different things. But either way, you're stealing an idea. There's an idea, a concept that has been well thought of. So that, to me, that's intellectual property at that point.
I guess you could say there's a right way of doing it. Like, for example, comparing it to...
And that's my opinion.
Comparing it to white labeling. Like you have a company asking, right, hey, can you do this for me? This is what I'm going to do with it.
Yeah. And there's some people that are completely transparent. Like, hey, this is made from the same factories of such and such, but I know what, like Jimbo. Jimbo tells you, yeah, I know what these guys are capable of doing. Am I telling you I'm sitting here making this shit? No. Am I telling you that I'm putting X amount of this in here and I know the average? I know what the industry is on average putting of a certain active ingredient. I'm going to put a little bit more. I'm going to make it more expensive, but you're also going to see a better quality than what you're seeing out there being sold at whatever, or what the industry is doing. From my knowledge, that's what Jimbo is conveying as what he's doing. He's doing that in a very transparent way. But then there's other people, that are going complete opposite in saying, oh no, this is mine, blah, blah, blah. And then you have the nuances, like then you have the people like Pan, where he's like, I'm using a whole bunch of different labs because I want the best soap, in my opinion. I want the best ceramic coating, in my opinion. I want the best so-and-so. So who knows what that looks like? You get what I'm saying? So, but then, the whole knockoff game, that's just, man, that to me is just pathetic. And, like that to me, that brings the industry down.
Well, I could see someone, what we just talked about, using that as an excuse, saying, well, it's no different than so-and-so. They do the same thing. It's just, I'm doing it this way. And then there's always that argument too, like, oh, it's business. It's like where do you stand? Because there's gonna be, and if you don't have an open mind, unfortunately, you're always gonna argue or think it's unfair. It comes where it's business. I get that, and that's what people just say. I don't do business that way.
Yeah,
that's why I
can't fuck with that.
Yeah.
And that's how I am with these copycat bootleg thing. Like, I can't support the fake shit.
Mm-hmm.
I can't fuck with it. Mm-hmm. I just can't. Mm-hmm. Like that is putting salt in the game to its maximum. That is fucking up the look. That is fucking up what we represent, what we're trying to convey, bringing the industry up, raising the standards. That shit's lowering the standards. That shit's putting us back. It's like, take that flea market shit somewhere else. Mm. But I understand there's a market for that. There's a market. Like, there's some dudes that are that go into the stores. And what's crazy is now I'm seeing some of these like ones that are clearly like made in some East LA factory that's just pumping out just the lowest bidder of all the materials. and slapping a label on it, put it on the same old bottle that you see on it. It's shit's looking like some motor oil type of containers, with the gallons, and it's just, and then putting the shit out. No design, nothing original in any way. Maybe a smell or the name. They put some ridiculous name on it, and now it's taking up shelf space at retail stores. Regionally, maybe even nationally, and it's kind of like, if you can't tell that that's trash as a consumer, I don't know what to tell you.
It's all business.
It is all business. And there's people that do business on completely different levels.
You go to Walmart, if you ever because they say Walmart's hard to get into, just make it cheap. Just make it cheaper than everybody else, because people just going like, what's the cheap? Get the cheapest one.
Yeah. And then there's
quantity.
And then there's brands at Walmart that are legit. Yeah, same thing with Costco. There's some things that are legit, and you're like, I would never thought they would. But if the money's right, and you could produce a volume, and you could make sure that everything is fulfilled and have your end of the deal taken care of, then obviously you can make things happen. But to me, I'm not even concerned with like the actual chemical itself. I'm talking about the representation of the knockoff stuff. To me, that bothers me more than the actual. I could give a fuck less what's in your chemical. If that shit is working, it's working. And if it's working well,
you got a starting point now. You could be like, oh, that's how you get down. I already know.
Yes, I already know what's going on here, right, and I want no part of it. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But yeah, great topic. If I don't know what. That was just something that you were thinking about? That was just
something that I noticed, and just led into here.
There's more knockoff ones than original ones. Let's put it that way.
Bro,
everything has a knockoff. Everything has a knockoff.
I was watching like the old school, and I'm pretty sure this goes for anything, but I was looking at some old school Carl Kanai stuff, and there was a guy that was talking about it, and he was saying, not saying I went to look, and there's a market that the price is still high, even though it's a knockoff, even though it's a replica. Like,
the replica game.
Like, it's still collect. Like, yo, I don't care. Just give me. I'll take the fake
on
one.
T-shirts, on everything.
I was like, oh,
like all the like the NK Air stuff. That shit is, and that was like straight flea market stuff. I know you LA boys around our age probably remember the NK, the player 69, all the, you know what I'm talking about? Like we're talking deep bootleg, like 3 levels low bootleg, like real street, like real street stuff. But there's even a market for that, like the fake Gucci, the fake whatever. Yeah. What was the fake Tommy? What was it called? Tommy Gear?
Tommy Gear.
Was it Tommy Gear?
Yeah,
even that stuff even has a market now.
IS pants.
Those, I don't think those were knockoffs. Those were just a cheap fucking brand. That was just a cheap, nasty brand.
Speaking of something that's not a knockoff, that's not a bootleg, that's been detail certified. Good old top star, Coach Kimmy. Shout out to Car Supplies Warehouse. That's where you can get it. But top star, interior dressing for the plastics. I'm liking this because it smells delicious, man. It smells clean. It's not like a perfume smell.
Yeah.
But it smells clean. It's not too strong.
They knocked it out the park.
I also like the finish that it leaves. Nothing oily. It just gives that little extra. You notice it's a noticeable difference.
Yeah, it's a noticeable difference, and it's not gonna be. To me, this is on the, like, if we're talking conditioners and interior trim restorers, or it's not it's a dressing. I would say it's on the lower gloss scale.
Well, yeah,
like very low, like even I'm thinking almost matte finish or satin.
Let me read it to him because
it's no more than a satin.
Because it dries. Plastic trim semi-matte.
Oh, semi-matte. See, there we go. Yeah, I think that's a perfect description of it. Yeah, it's not going to, because as it dries, it lightens up. Because when it goes on, it's wet, so it looks real shiny. on the hard plastics, but as soon as it dries up, it's going to be noticeable. It's not going to hide everything. You know, when you have like some materials that have imperfections or kind of markings or anything where some dressings mask it really well. There's some dressings that mask it, but then you're also having to compromise. Okay, there's probably going to be some silicones in there. There's going to be some stuff that's a little bit thicker. It's probably going to look oilier, but it's a nice one.
So it comes with the cap, right?
Pop top.
Yeah, it comes with the pop top. We put a sprayer on it. I like the sprayer to use down with the pedals the pedal mechanics. You know how it gets nasty on the side with the dark color?
Yeah, on the sides of the.
I like to spray it right there because you can get it. You know, one good spray would take care of that.
Yeah, especially on the Teslas, any cars that are really easy, like the Toyota interiors where they get scratched up a lot.
Cheap plastics.
Yeah, even I like to do the rubbers. This even works well for the rubbers that go in the cup holders and you know where the cell phone charging areas of the little compartments. Those larger ones. Dodge Ram has a lot of plastics, like compartments that come out in the middle section. It's probably like 5 or 6 different pieces that you got to pull out. I make sure to hit those with it. They look great once they go back in there. It gives it a little bit extra, but it's not enough to be for the client doesn't quite know what you did to it, but it looks a lot better. And it doesn't look oily. It doesn't look greasy. It's a subtle difference, but it's a difference that makes an impact in the right situation. I generally don't dress the entire cars. I dress only what's needed. And when I dress, I usually just dress to blend. If there's an imperfection, a discoloration somewhere, then I'm gonna pull out the dressing. I'm not gonna necessarily dress something that just for the sake of dressing. Some guys put it all over everything, every single job. Like that's not we don't do that. We hardly ever dress stuff. So when I want things dressed, I want it to look a certain way. And this, I'm able to get to that level. If you're looking for something a little bit darker, we have solutions for that also. But this, I know what it's giving me and I know when I'm reaching for it. And I've used it on, you know, some rubbers, like the trim around the doors. That's not too crazy. This will darken it up. It's going to make a difference depending on the age and the condition of those. We have it in a sprayer where it mist. We mist it on like large areas. If it's the plastic covers for, you know, a back of like a Honda CRV or something, the hard plastic ones, you clean it off, give this a few hits, spritz of the top star, get some coverage, let it sit for a second, and then just kind of go through, hit it with the microfiber towel. We use ripping rags with them, which we'll link in the description also. But yeah, I like using the ripping rags because I get precision into the edges when I'm using
I liked how you said when you were applying it, you noticed the parts that are a little more beat up, especially around the door. Mm-hmm. We open the door, the plastic's down right there. Yeah. You spraying it on there and letting it marinate for a little bit. You notice a little darker, richer.
Yeah, when I do that, because before I was doing it on the applicator pad, and I found it kind of messy because it's very thin. So when I would turn it back up, it's dripping everywhere. And you got to be. It was just. I didn't like the application. I thought I can improve it, and by putting it in with a sprayer, it does give me more control, you know, when I'm doing larger areas, and it gives me more control of the product usage that I'm doing. So whether I am putting it on an applicator pad and then going into the panel, or if I'm going directly onto a panel, I have more control. But I notice when I spray it, it allows it to get into the cracks of things a little bit better. So when I spray it, sometimes when you're in there with the applicator, you're having to kind of go through. Same thing with the gummy fix, put it in the sprayer. Like,
you know, that
changes everything. What's that?
Ulex and Orange Power.
The solvent tears them up.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, the solvent tears them up. It would be definitely maybe like a few times. It'll tear them up faster than the acids will.
Sheesh.
Yeah. Yep. Some people do them, but they know. But those are also the same people that, you know, if they like, even with their acids and stuff, where they'll use the trigger and then they have a bucket of water there and they put it in and soak it. I'm not trying to do all that. I'm not trying to do all that. So that's a solution for it. But again, it's not that big of a deal. You're not doing ULEX. Yeah, it would make it faster when you're using it, but the cost and the time you're going to have to be changing out these, these triggers and stuff.
It might be worth it to put it on that orange power because it's a different bottle and that label comes off.
Yeah, because it's an adhesive. Yeah. And it removes adhesive because it leaks. Yeah. It leaked off on us. So, but
anyway, it's about Top Star. We're talking about
Top Star. Sorry to take your shine away. Man, you a star. So
Top Star, Car Supplies Warehouse.
10% off. Use discount code details10. Go check them out. We will catch you guys on the next one.